You've likely heard of a rough breakup before, but I seriously doubt you've heard of one quite as horrifying as the one I'm about to tell you. If even one person feels seen in their experience, and I got my leg back on my ex, okay? Every trigger warning you could possibly think of. All right, we got SA, we got DV, suicide, we got self-harm. Oh, yeah, and can't forget to mention addiction. And I was like, wow, I broke that cycle so fucking hard, bitch. This girl wants me to quit my job. It's crazy. This is what I was thinking, okay? This is what I thought. Love that for you. I mean, I guess if you want the entity, the sinister little girl in the closet to comfort you, that's okay. Whatever you need, girl. She said verbatim, one day this demon is gonna win and it's gonna take me away. Because I almost got my head bashed in. Whoa! Like, that shit was...
That's not when the breakup happens. The breakup is coming soon.
Chapter 3, a trip within a trip.
A trip within a trip.
For reference, I was not on this trip with them, but I do come in at some point and you will see how.
So, you know, everything seems to be smoothing over, except for like the dreams are still happening. She's having like small little like mental breakdowns. I'm just like trying to be there to support her. I don't know, she was just really struggling with her brain. And to be fair, a lot of things had gone on in her life leading up to us being in a relationship, and even during our relationship, like a lot of factors in her life had kind of been disrupted. You know what I mean? Like things that weren't good for her, she like was realizing. She realized that her old therapist was grooming her and things like that. So it was just very much a lot of trauma and things that she was unpacking. I also find that that tends to happen when I come into people's lives.
If you can't handle it, then...
I would like to think that I treat people well.
Yes, she does.
So sometimes that in itself like wakes you up to the situations that maybe haven't been as ideal. Yes. So I feel like that's kind of what was happening. And it was just a lot for her to process because there were a lot of things in her life that were super misaligned. A lot of people that were not treating her well. She had lost her business, had been like kicked out of her business.
There was a lot of stuff.
As she was unpacking all these things, whenever emotions would come up, I was just trying to be there for her. I was just trying to be like a good partner and just like give her the space to feel her feelings. And she had told me a lot of times that she felt like I was giving her all this space and she just didn't know what to do with it. And I was like, take it. Just try to take it. Like, just try your best to like fill yourself up, allow yourself to like fully be, you know what I mean? And I know that that's easier said than done, but she definitely acknowledged like I gave her a lot of space and she didn't know what to do with it.
Yes. One time when her and I were hanging out prior to this trip within a trip, I had done like a tarot reading with her, and basically just like we do like seasonal tarot readings just to get the vibe, right? I had done a tarot reading with her and I kind of led her through just kind of like a somatic thing to like help ground and like help get your insights, okay? She had explained this image that she got where she was looking at a beautiful, beautiful scene, like oasis type of thing, and she had walked through this door and the door had closed behind her. She was comparing it to her relationship with Brook Lynn and being like, I pictured myself like slamming on the door trying to get back to where I was before.
She was like crying to get back into the dark room that she had come from.
Yes.
She like couldn't even acknowledge this oasis and like enjoy the oasis because she wanted so badly to get back inside.
We were both just trying to be like, it's okay, you are safe here, and completely understand why you're scared.
And like that's how trauma works. Like I totally got it.
Yes. And so we're both like, it's scary but it's good. And she was like, yeah, it's good. And so like little moments like that we kind of just didn't think a lot of.
Yeah, but she definitely was like kind of crashing out in that moment. And then we actually also did a tarot reading pretty soon before this trip within a trip. It was my birthday and everybody had gone to the grocery store, just Hunnie and I hanging out. She did a tarot reading for me and she pulled the tower, and the tower just had kept coming up.
And the tower pulled for Denver as well.
Yeah, she was just saying that she felt like something in our relationship was gonna happen.
I didn't think that they were gonna break up. Truly, like from the outside, like even though we're telling this story and it's these like very like kind of
highlighting the
things.
worst moments.
Yes, their relationship generally looked relatively strong. Like they were communicating well with each other and everything seemed to be okay besides like these stories that we're telling.
And these incidents are like spread across months. All the other times when these things aren't happening and when she's not in this like state of mind that she would get into, it's like she was great communicator and our relationship felt super healthy. And everybody who knew me, who had known about all of my toxic relationships, all my friends who had walked alongside me through these toxic relationships, and people, even just acquaintances of mine that I would run into when I was with Denver, everybody would be like, you just seem happy and you seem like this is right and this seems good, like this seems so good. And so everyone was a fan of her for me because she seems like she treats you really well and this is what you deserve. Like you deserve somebody who wants to take care of you. The end of November comes around and we're getting ready for the holidays. Mind you, like none of my relationships have ever made it through the holidays in my whole life. Like I don't know what it is, but like the holidays are a horrible time for me. Thanksgiving trauma, I have Christmas trauma, New Year's trauma. Like
the whole holiday season is kind of fucked.
It's kind of rough for me, okay? But I don't know, I had faith. I was like, okay, this is like the best relationship I've ever been in. Like I really felt like I was gonna be with her for a long time. Like I felt like we could make it work. We decide that we're gonna go visit her family for Thanksgiving. My family's really homophobic, so we were like, we're not gonna do that. Her family is semi-homophobic, so we were like kind of the better option. So we decided to go to her hometown for the holidays. I'm not gonna name her hometown. Yeah, so we had actually planned to like visit my mom and then go visit her family. So we visited my mom before we left. When we visited my mom, she was being very homophobic per usual, and that will come into context in part 2. What did she call our relationship, my mom? What was the word that she used? Very Christian thing to say. It was
perversion.
Yeah, she called our relationship a perversion. The reaction that Denver had to that was like, that's the craziest thing anyone's ever said to me. And I was like, that's a random Tuesday for me. So then I started to realize like how toxic that was. But anyways, that will come into context later. So then we got on a plane to visit her family. She was very nervous about visiting her family. Knew that it was gonna be triggering for her and that it was gonna be weird for her and hard for her. So like, I'm just trying to comfort her and be like, listen, like we got this. Like we're gonna be there together. I'm gonna be there to support you. If there's ever a time that we just like need space, like we can always go back to your mom's place, lock the door and just like have a little breather. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna stay regulated. Like we got this.
This trip is when shit gets fucking crazy. So just buckle yourself.
A trip within a trip, if you will. At this point, she had also promised me she was never going to get drunk again.
After that situation that we just talked about, promised, I'm never gonna get drunk again.
After coming down the next day, realizing how she acted, she was like, I just never want to be like that again. And I never want to treat you like that again. And that was insane. I'm sorry. And I'm never gonna get drunk again. She still wanted to be able to socially drink. She didn't want to be like completely sober. But she this time said, if we go out anytime ever again,
she said, I will have no more than 2 drinks.
No more than 2 drinks anytime that we go out again in the future, ever. She said for the rest of my life, I promise. And I was like, okay, those are like big words. You had already said that to me before and then that didn't happen, so I'll believe it when I see it. And lo and behold, that promise wouldn't hold up for long. The eve of Thanksgiving, we went to a bar with her friends in the city of the area that she had grown up in. Just some college friends, and everyone was like chill, it was fine. I felt a sense of doom approach as I watched her finish her 7th drink again. She continued taking like more and more and more shots and just like acting really weird and possessive because we were just like in this fuck ass bar. I don't know, she just was very, very alert of me, very obsessed over me. And that's kind of how it had felt sometimes when she would get drunk in the past, where can't let me out of her sight, can't just like let me have a moment to myself. And especially when I'm out, I need moments. I need time to regulate. I'm autistic. If you hadn't noticed from my last video when I was like, because of Fairlife abusing their cows, even though they're called Fairlife, which still pisses me off. I'm gonna put the link right there, because that was a fun video. Yeah, so I just like need my moments, but she was just like pestering me. She just kept asking me a bunch of questions. I don't even really remember what the questions were, but I just remember her firing off questions like over and over again. I'm sure it was because she had drank a shit ton, even though she had promised me that she would never do that again, and she was probably up my ass because she was like wanting to make sure that I felt okay, I guess, in a weird way, but she was actually just like really overstimulating the fuck out of me, because I just knew she was starting to get to that point where she was gonna like not be herself at all anymore. And so I asked her if we could leave, and she said she wanted to stay out, and I was just like already having a really hard time handling her, so I was like, no, I would like to go back to your mom's place. As I hadn't drank much at all and it had been hours since my last drink, I was deemed a designated driver. So I got in her friend's car and I was like driving back to their place because we were gonna Uber back to her mom's place from her friend's place. Was like, okay, are you guys hungry? Like, do you need food? They were like, yeah. So we went to Taco Bell and we stopped at Taco Bell. In the drive-thru, I am ordering for everybody and then I put my card out to pay. She grabs my arm, slams my elbow into the car window, which by the way was like a little bit cracked like this because it was like one of those old cars. My literal humerus, my not so funny bone, went into the car window. It hurt like fucking shit. And she was like, no, let me pay. Let me pay. Hey, I'm in pain again. It literally left a bruise. She slammed my shit hard as fuck.
Leading up to all this, I'm getting drunk texts from Denver being like, I'm having so much fun. And
Heard the saxophones.
no, I heard
louder.
the saxophones getting louder. I'm really hoping this doesn't go, or I think it's gonna go.
And I was also thinking, I'm really hoping that this doesn't go where I think it's gonna go. Having been injured once again, I was triggered. Already on such thin ice with her in these situations, I'm gonna try to regulate myself. So I got kind of quiet, you know, and I was just trying to like calm myself down.
Normal fucking person.
Right. We got back to her friend's place. She was also drinking a bottle of wine in the car and asking for more alcohol when we were in the car. And then she was asking for more alcohol when we got back to her friend's place, having belligerent conversation with her friend. And then I was like, okay, can you order the Uber so we can go home? And then she ordered the Uber. We got in the Uber to go home. I was obviously presenting as triggered, so she obviously knew that something was wrong. I was trying to just be quiet and she wanted me to talk and I didn't want to because I had nothing to say. Honestly, in that moment, I was just like, I know that if we have this conversation right now, it's not gonna go well. Alas, we get in the Uber. In this 50-minute car ride home, it consisted of so much manipulation. It was stressful. It was like manipulation and threats all over my refusal to communicate my feelings in that very moment, which was a boundary, okay? I'm allowed to have boundaries. You know, I was obviously upset, but I didn't want to talk about it in that moment because I knew that it didn't go well the last time that something like this happened.
She's like extremely drunk. No.
And we're alone. Last time that this had happened, Hunnie was there, and if it had just been me in Denver the last time, it wouldn't have been resolved. It would have just gotten really bad. It was only because she was there that Denver was able to calm down that time. So I felt completely ill-equipped to handle this on my own. So I just asked her for space. I was like, I am upset. It's gonna be fine. I would just prefer if we talk later because we're not gonna be able to have a constructive conversation while you're this drunk. So let's just talk about it tomorrow, let's sleep on it, and then let's have a conversation tomorrow. After I said that, she proceeded to berate me for the next 50 minutes, telling me that I needed to communicate why I was upset with her in that moment. I needed to talk to her about it right now. She needed to know. She used any method that she could possibly think of to try to get me to talk. That included, I have a list. Threatening to jump out of the car, telling me she's perfect and I'm fucked up, so this is all my fault, then telling me that I'm perfect and she's fucked up, so this is all her fault, and then every other possible thing that you could possibly think of, she tried. And she tried to get the Uber driver to say that I was in the wrong. It was like, don't you think that she's being crazy to the Uber driver?
Shout out Uber driver.
He literally didn't say anything. like, excuse me, do you hear this? Do you hear how she's treating me? And he literally was like, and I was like, real, like he's so mean.
He said, I just work here.
He was like, I didn't sign up for all this. Would not stop tagging. And I was like, again, I'm so overstimulated. I was like, the clock just turned. Can we just wait until the next minute before you keep talking? Like, I just need at least like 1 minute of silence, like in order to regulate myself. And she said, no, 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 no. Not even kidding, for that entire minute, she just said, no, 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 no. It was truly with the second. She probably gave me 60 no's. That brings us to chapter 4, the haunted house.
The haunted house.
We finally arrived at her mom's 3-story townhome. Denver jumped out of the car, immediately ran upstairs. I followed her upstairs to find that my suspicions were correct, and the razor that her sister had left in the room was now missing. She had locked herself in the bathroom, razor was gone. She had locked the door. I was like trying to get in, and she claimed that she didn't know where the razor was. I was like, where's the razor? She was like, I don't know where the razor is. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I tried to get the door open. She let me in at one point, and I was so desperate to find this razor that I just kind of like gently patted her down because I was like trying to find it. I wasn't trying to be invasive. You're not safe right now because I know you have this razor, so let me try to grab it from you. I couldn't find it, and she was like, see, no razor, we good? Then shoved me out the door and slammed the door. Shoved me pretty violently. I landed on my ass. One thing that I had noticed in my brief moments when I went into the bathroom was that her eyes weren't blue anymore. Her eyes had turned black, completely glazed over black.
And I can confirm this with the later part in the story.
I was like sitting on the ground of her sister's bedroom. She was just like in there crying and she was just screaming at me from the bottom of her soul, screaming, "Leave me alone, I need a minute." And I was like, okay, heard. I couldn't find the razor. She said she didn't know where it was. So I was like, okay, maybe she doesn't have the razor. Like maybe somebody just took it. I don't know. So I went downstairs. Some time passes. Her mom sits on the couch with me. She's trying to comfort me. She's like, "I'll protect you. I know that you're like in this situation where you're in a strange city with people that you don't know, people that you've never met before, and this is probably really scary for you that all of this is happening. So like, I just want you to know you're safe with me." And I was like, thank you. I didn't really believe her. Was right to not believe her because
shit gets crazy. So when she had gone downstairs after finding Denver in the bathtub, getting pushed and shoved and all that stuff, going back downstairs, I get a text from Brook Lynn being like, "Hey, Denver is drinking again and I'm really scared." And I go, "Can I call you? What's going on?" And I was like, fuck, the thing is happening again.
she was very worried for me because she was like,
yes.
Oh my god.
Because I had
she
seen
was like,
it before.
She's like, "I've seen this before," and she was like, "Fuck, like you're alone."
You're in a completely new state. I'm not there. Like no one is really there. We talked on the phone for like maybe 2 minutes. And then I get a FaceTime call from Denver. And I'm like, "Give me 1 second. She's calling me. I'm gonna call you back." Answer the phone. And I just see Denver like crying, sobbing, crying. She was in the bathtub. I saw the bath curtain or whatever, the shower curtain. Eyes not blue. Straight up not blue. And I was like, what's going on? She's not making a whole lot of sense. "I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I did wrong. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." And I was like, whoa, slow down. She starts like going off on this thing of, "I can't believe I came out for this. Oh, for what? For what?" And I'm like, whoa, slow, 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 slow. And she goes, "I wish you were here. I miss you so much." And I'm like, okay, whoa. Out of nowhere, again, mind the trigger warning, she puts her open wrist up to the camera being like, "I did this." And I was like, whoa. Blood is everywhere. She's completely naked in the bathtub weeping and her eyes are black. And I'm like, okay, who's there? Her mom was trying to get in the door and then Denver was like, "No, leave me alone. I just want to talk to Hunnie." I was like, "You should let your mom in." And then she goes, "Okay, fine." Lets her mom in. She's like, "I'm just gonna call you back." And I go, okay. And then we get off the phone. I immediately call you. "You should go upstairs. She's bleeding."
I go upstairs to find Denver in the bathtub, blood streaming down, screaming, "This is all Brooke's fault. I did this because of her." And again, like, I can't believe I came out for this. I've been the perfect girlfriend. I've done nothing wrong.
I only had 2 drinks. That's one thing that I forgot to mention. When I was on FaceTime with her, she's like, "I only had 2 drinks, I swear."
She said that?
Yes.
That girl had like, I'm not even kidding, the equivalent of
A handle? Like,
Yeah.
not a handle, like a small bottle.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. Well, because you told me that she drank a bottle of wine, she chugged a bottle of wine
She
in her
drank
car,
half a bottle of wine.
and then multiple shots.
And then multiple shots, and then had another seltzer when she got back to her friend's place, and more wine when she got back to her friend's place. And she had like, I think like 4 shots, like 6 mixed drinks.
Jesus Christ. And she said, "I only had 2 drinks, I swear."
Right.
Huh?
I had gone upstairs and I had like seen all this happening. It was just obviously a lot for me because she's telling me that this is my fault. When we had gone to visit my mom just a week prior, I was like really opening up to my mom about the abuse that I had experienced with my brother growing up, how he used to harm himself or threaten suicide to get me to do things for him and would tell me that it was my fault if he died and things like that. So I just had experienced a lot of things like that growing up. The things that she did this day, really, she had just learned about this, about my history, and she had repeated so many of the same things that I had told her my brother
Like,
did.
to a T.
So it was kind of crazy. And so I was obviously really triggered and her mom was up there. And so I was like, I don't really think I can make this better right now because she's yelling about how this is my fault. So I think you need to handle this.
I was on the phone from this point forward.
Yeah.
So like,
She was literally
listening to all of this
listening
on
to
FaceTime.
everything
Like,
happening.
yes.
Yeah. I go back downstairs. I get on the phone with Hunnie because Denver's talking to her mom. She was trying to comfort me. You know, I'm in this stranger's house thousands of miles away from home. I end up having to hang up the phone call with Hunnie because Denver and her mom come back downstairs. Denver sits down in front of me, looks in my eyes and says, "I didn't mean anything I said before. I'm ready to hear what I did wrong." Do you know how crazy that is? Like this whole time, the whole thing was like, I don't want to talk about this today.
The whole thing. Mind you, no issues had been brought up to this point. None.
None.
None. All that she had said was, hey, can I just like have a moment to myself and can we talk about this later? That is the only thing that was said.
I'd like
up
to talk
until
about this
point.
when you sober up.
Yes.
All that I had said.
Yeah.
Total. So again, the whole point was I didn't want to talk about it in that moment.
Fucking valid.
Which is valid because obviously,
Because duh.
because this is what happens before I even talk about why I'm upset. So then finally I just caved because I was done at this point. And I just told her, yeah, you harmed me again. My elbow hurts. Do you see the bruise? Because you did that. I talk about. She takes a deep breath and she says, my girlfriend hates me now because I wanted to pay for a Taco Bell. Sit with that. Are we sitting with that?
Are you taking that in?
It's like levels of wrong.
And guess what? The levels get higher or lower.
Because this was my rock bottom.
Yes, ultimately this goes down to the pits of hell.
I don't think I've ever been as down as I was. And I've been through shit, y'all. You have no idea. Chapter 5, locked away.
Locked away.
She collapsed into her mom's arms at this point on the couch downstairs. And I slipped away. I sent a little text to her mom and I was like, make sure you don't let her out of your sight because she's definitely a danger to herself right now. I tiptoe up the stairs and I lock myself in her sister's room because obviously you are talking to me crazy. I don't need to be present for that. Just because you're crashing the fuck out, like I'm gonna let your mom handle that because she's your mom. Like I'm not. And therefore it is genuinely not my responsibility to pick you up when you made me feel like shit. What would have made that the whole situation fine is me just saying like, actually no, you're perfect. You've been a great girlfriend to me and you didn't do anything wrong. You've never done anything wrong. And then she would have been fine. But I wasn't willing to abandon myself in that moment to make sure that she was okay. That was my pattern with my brother. That was my pattern with all my past relationships. That was my pattern with everything that I've been through in life is abandon myself to make the other person okay and abandon my own feelings to make the other person okay. So in this moment, I was like, I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna lock myself in her sister's room because I don't deserve to be spoken to like this. Draft up the text to her mom, hit send, then I freeze. I realized my body was sore from head to toe because of how hard I had been shaking for hours at this point. I was not in good shape. Honey calls me again.
Because I'm like, what's going on? Last I heard, homegirl was bleeding in the bathtub and she was screaming at everybody.
Not long after this, as I'm on the phone with Honey, Denver approaches the door. Next thing I know, she was...
Sorry, this shit just gets so crazy from this point on. Like, this first part was nuts. This shit just gets fucking worse.
Like, it really does. When I titled this a horror movie of a breakup, I was not joking. Next thing I know, she's trying to break down the door, like literally trying to break down the door. She's trying to coax me out by any means possible.
Anything.
She's peeking underneath the door with a flashlight. Like I just see her eyeball underneath the door. She's like trying to like, yeah. I was like, like it was so scary.
And this whole time I'm just telling her like, you don't have to go out there. You don't have to talk to her. You already told her. Just say, I'm not gonna talk to you about this. And she had to repeat, I'm not gonna talk about this to you. I'm going to bed, okay? Good night. This whole time, I just hear Denver going, no, Brooke, I will listen. I promise, I'm here to listen. Flip again. I can't believe you're doing this to me. I've done nothing wrong. Are you kidding me?
Then she proceeds to also include, I have made you financially dependent on me just so that you could never leave me. And now you're still gonna leave me. Is our relationship over? Be honest. I've done all these things to support you so that you wouldn't be able to leave me.
It's like, please, I just need to know.
All the conversations that we had had about like me being uncomfortable with her providing for me, she completely like threw that back in my face. I only ever did that so that I could keep you around. And I was like, okay, so that's crazy. So she just proceeded to like, I'm not even kidding, for the next 5 hours. It was 5 hours, yeah?
Yes.
Goes through every single thing that she had ever said, every reassurance she had ever given me in our relationship to make me feel safe with her, to make me feel like I could trust her. She takes every single one of them away. And that's in the span of the 5 hours, like every single thing that had ever given me safety in the relationship was just completely stripped away. Like she basically essentially told me that anything that she had ever done to build trust with me was so that I couldn't leave her and so that I could never be mad at her.
Being like, I've been perfect and I've done all of these things so that you wouldn't leave me.
And so that you wouldn't ever be able to be mad at me. And now you're still mad at me.
Even when I've been perfect.
Yeah, so she's like crying and screaming all of these things for 5 hours. I'm like obviously going crazy. Like my brain feels like mush at this point because I haven't gotten a single second of silence in, at this point, 8 hours.
Yeah. For the first, I'd say like hour and a half that she was like screaming at the door, like you were trying to be like, I'm not going to talk to you about this. We will talk about this tomorrow.
Eventually, Hunnie was just like,
you don't have to say anything.
Just stop saying anything.
And at this point, it's just feeding it.
It was just loop after loop after loop. So it was just, yeah, it was just continuing to feed the beast. So honestly, like, thank you. Because I really don't know if I could have gone through the whole process of like not self-abandoning if it weren't for Hunnie reminding me, you are not responsible for this right now. Like, you don't have to do anything. Like, it's okay to have your boundaries and to stand on your boundaries. Like, don't go out there. You know, she even, like, eventually, like, started flashing a knife under the door, threatening suicide, saying, come out here and watch what you did to me. Watch me follow through on what you caused.
So in the middle of this, around, like, hour 3-ish, I think it was, like, probably, like, 2:30 in the morning, 3 in the morning, something like that. I get a FaceTime call from Denver, and then I pick it up. This is the first of many FaceTime calls I get in this 5-hour period. She knew I was on the phone with you.
And she was spamming her, trying to get her off the phone.
Yes, and so I get a phone call from Denver being like, I just wanted to let you know I am not making it through this night. And I really appreciate all of the friendship that you've given me, but I am done. I can't do this anymore. I came out for this, and I can't. I've been perfect. I've been trying, but it's never enough.
Also, to say that you came out for this is like so crazy. Like, to just be like, it's just a waste to have come out because I am upset that you injured me and I didn't want to talk about it right now. Like,
What?
Are you serious?
Like, actually, I'm trying to diffuse her being like, hey, can we slow down? Can we take a breath? She's like, no. And then she just hangs up on me, and I go, oh.
She was also just like very clearly in retrospect using Hunnie as a pawn to try to get to me.
Yes.
She was trying to get Hunnie to
get her out of the room.
Yeah.
To go get her.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm not that stupid.
She calls me back.
And I'm like, hey, give me her mom's number so that I can also communicate, hey, keep your fucking eyes on her, because she just told me she doesn't want to be here anymore and she's not going to make it through the night. I get her mom's phone number. I'm like, hey, you need to take her to the hospital or call the police or something. Please help her. She needs help. She just goes, I'm not going to. I'm just gonna make sure she doesn't. She's not going to. She's in my sights. I took away all of the knives and I hid them and the razors and all that. And I was like, okay, you should probably still take her to the hospital because this is not okay. She proceeds to say, I don't feel comfortable doing that because I was also put in the mental hospital against my will. I don't want to do that to my kid, but I've got her. It's fine.
Yeah, no, but she's gonna protect me and make sure that I feel safe.
No, for sure.
Because she understands the position I'm in.
No, for sure.
Totally.
For sure. I then get back on the phone with Brooke.
She's like in such disbelief at the things that are being said through this door and the things that are happening that she's literally like, I'm so sorry. This is
like, no, literally,
this is what she's looping is I'm so sorry. Every
so
time
sorry.
that Denver says something new that just completely like shatters me, she's like, I'm so sorry. It's not true.
It's not true. It's not your fault. I'm like crying, trying not to sound like I'm crying on the phone with because I'm listening to her tell you these things. I'm like, oh my God. I'm so sorry. It's not true. Those things are not true. This is not your fault. You're doing everything you can. It's okay. I'm so sorry. Over and over again. This is all I can do, folks. Like, I can't drive there.
No, literally, there's nothing to be done. So then at some point, I decide that I'm gonna now lock myself in the closet, which is in the bathroom, which is in the bedroom. I felt like I had 3 doors because she kept saying that she was gonna break down the doors. She's like, I found the key, I found the key. I don't think she had ever found the key.
She was just trying to rattle the knife in the keyhole, I think.
But she was like saying that she was gonna get in, so I was like, okay.
Like, she had a knife. I'm sorry. Can we just,
like,
sorry.
Again.
Can we have a moment about this? This girl was standing outside her door for 5 hours with a knife in her hand. What?
Again, flashing it under the door, being like, come watch me finish what you started. Like, oh.
I'm on the phone with her. I hear like a tussle outside the door. Then I'm sorry, this isn't funny. It's just fucking crazy. Her and mom are like yelling at each other, being like, don't touch me! Because she's trying to pick her up and take her to bed and being like,
yeah.
Can we please go to bed? Please go to bed. And her mom is trying to coax her, being like, you need to stop. You are doing something wrong right now. You are harming someone you love. She's just like, no, I need to talk to her. I need to see her at least once. Over and over again. You hear like things banging around. You hear her mom get the knife out of her hand and like them like fighting in the hallway.
Like them literally tussling.
Literally tussling in the hallway.
The Great Escape. The Great Escape.
know, as this is happening, I'm like, okay, I need more layers of protection. So I lock myself in the bathroom, in the closet, in the bedroom.
In the bathroom, in the closet, in the bed.
Shout out Megan Thee Stallion. I love you, girl. Come here. As I'm in the closet, you know, I'm just like also trying to get away from the sound because again, it hasn't been a minute's rest. I've never been more overstimulated in my whole life.
When I tell you this was non-stop, I'm surprised that girl still had a voice the next day.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm surprised she didn't lose her voice.
no,
like, fully.
literally, because it was constantly oscillated between screaming and talking for 5 hours
It
straight.
oscillated between screaming and then being like, I'm so sorry, please. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It was like insane. I am in the closet shaking so hard. Like I've been shaking this whole time, like sweating my ass off. Honey is like, let me have a second to call my mom. So she calls her mom. She's trying to like figure out if somehow they can get me a plane ticket to leave early. Oh! I'm so sorry. It's okay. It didn't crack that bad. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
See how chill I am? I just cracked my laptop and I'm like, it's not that bad. I didn't deserve this.
See how chill I am?
See how chill I am? Like, bye.
Bye.
How does this happen to the chillest bitch ever? Like, can't chaos find chaos?
Apparently fucking not.
Yeah, I wanted to like drown out the noise enough to form an escape plan. So Honey calls her mom. She's like trying to figure out if they can figure out plane fare for me. And then finally I get through to my mom and I'm like, can you please buy a plane ticket for me? Like, please, I need to get out of here. And she was like, okay. I asked her to get the plane ticket for me, but she was like, I'll just send you the money and you can figure it out. And I'm like, okay, you don't seem to understand the situation, but okay, thank you so much. I booked the plane ticket. I booked the wrong fucking plane ticket. I ended up being in the airport for so long. I ended
like
up
6 hours.
Like 6 hours in Houston for no reason. I essentially start forming my escape plan. My flight is in like 4 hours. Decide to book an Uber. Messaging the Uber driver and I decided to warn him. I was like, listen, I might be running. Look at my picture and make sure that you don't let anybody else but me into the car. He just messaged back and he was like, got it.
And I'm like, hey, do you want to stay on the phone with me while you're getting into the Uber? No, I got it. I'm just gonna call you back once I'm in the Uber.
So I gather some of my things that I can in my little backpack, making as little noise as possible. Like I'm trying not to make any noise because at this point
Denver had basically said like, okay, I've calmed down now. I'm gonna go to bed and I look forward to our conversation tomorrow.
Because that is exactly how she sounded. You ate that impression.
Because her mom had finally convinced her to like try and go to bed. And
so her mom told me that they were in her bedroom. Okay, maybe it's possible that I can sneak out of here.
Yeah.
Without
yeah.
her finding out.
And the whole time we were on the phone whispering, you were telling me, she's like, I'm just scared she's actually outside.
Just have a weird feeling she's actually outside.
And then I go, I don't know, maybe she's not. Like, if she is, then like, just run.
Lo and behold, I open the door. It's her body. She's laying in front of the doorway, sleeping in front of the door. So I shove it as much as I can to get my body out, and then I have to jump over her, and then I wake her up. And then as I wake her up, she's like, oh my God, Brooke! Tries to grab my leg as I'm running down the stairs, because it's like doorway, stairs, like right next to it. So she's trying to grab me and trip me down the stairs. She misses by, I'm not even kidding, an inch. Like I turned around and I see her arm like just miss my leg. She could have like genuinely, I could have died. Like I'm not kidding. It was a long fucking stairway. This is a 3-story townhome. Long ass stairway. Like if she had tripped me down the stairs, like I would have hit my head. Oh my God, fuck. She gets up. I'm running down the stairs, grabbing my shoes. I don't even have time to put them on because she's chasing after me. She's literally chasing me through this house. And then I run down the next flight of stairs. I kid you not. I get to the front door. I'm trying to unlock it, trying to open it. As soon as I get it open and I put my first foot through, she catches up to me, slams the door on my foot. And again, I have no shoe on, so it's just like on my bare ass foot. She slams the door on my foot. Standing in front of the door like, no, don't go, please. And I'm like, I'm like, let me pass, like just let me go, like just let me go. Her mom comes running downstairs, bear hugs her and grabs her and just like holds her, and she's like, Brooke, run out the garage door. Bro, trying to find the garage door and I accidentally go to the closet instead. Denver literally looks at me completely sobered in that moment and goes, wrong door, it's that one. She pointed me to the right door. Like what? Like I can't make this shit up. Like this, like it was so crazy. Like I could not even believe what was happening. I'm like, okay, thanks. Grab the fucking door handle, open the door, hit the garage thing. I just hear, she got away, Brooke.
That was her mom.
Waiting for the garage door to open, and then I turn around and I see her coming through the door, so I slide my bare ass body underneath the garage door.
She wasn't naked, just like
Arms.
Yeah,
I got scraped a little bit. And so I'm like sliding underneath the garage, running away. Uber's not in the alleyway. She was by the front door. I have to like run around this entire row of buildings.
Shout out track practice.
Shout out track practice from my high school years. If there's one thing a bitch can do, it's run. Chasing behind me. I get into the Uber, slam the door, and I'm like, go, go! Again, I have no shoes on. Go, go! I'm like holding my shoes. And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, go! The last thing I see is her running down the street toward us as the Uber driver hits the reverse and gets us the fuck out of there. Literally like reversed all the way down the street. Spun around and sped off. And he was like, what the fuck is happening? And I was like, nothing, it's fine. I was like, it's okay. I'm just having a moment. I call Hunnie again and I'm crying.
I pick up the phone and she goes, I'm in the Uber. And I'm like, okay, do you want to tell me what happened or do you want a second? 1 second! And then I hear the Uber driver go, are you okay? Brooklyn just goes, I'm fine, I'm just really sad.
He was like, don't cry. And I was like, no, I really do need to cry. It's okay, just let me cry, just drive. Just get us there as quickly as possible. I'm terrified that she's gonna follow me to the airport.
Yeah.
She could put 2 and 2 together and figure out where I'm going. I did turn my location off, but at this point, I understood the relationship was over. As I was headed to the airport, the aftermath of this whole thing is a story within itself, so we're gonna make that a part 2. That includes losing my mom, ending up without a home, living in the same building as Denver, feeling like I hadn't grown at all from where I started, getting out of a lease by chance, and losing almost all of my belongings, etc. And then I want to talk to you guys about what I learned from all of this, because I didn't actually end up at the same place I had started at, it just felt that way. So I want to talk about what I had learned from all this, because we started with me thinking like this is gonna finally be a healthy relationship for me, and then it didn't turn out to be that. So I felt like I hadn't gotten anywhere in my journey in life, but I have come to realize that that's not the case. I've actually grown in a lot of ways, and this is the first time in my life that I didn't self-abandon. So that gives you a little bit of a preview of what's to come. With that being said, subscribe, like, comment, please, because that would be the least that anyone could do to support me. After all this. No, I'm playing. You actually don't have to if you don't want to. But also, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. Everything is Brook Lynn's Voice, 2 N's. I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye. Thanks for watching.